Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. My name is Adrielle and I am currently telling the story of my life dating back from January 2016. Previous episode I spoke about the beginning of 2019 and me getting a word from the Lord that He's advancing me. Me learning that I have the spiritual gift of mercy. And me coming back to Atlanta. So in this episode, I am basically going to talk about the start of the semester. And yeah, so here it goes. January 14th, that was the beginning of the spring 2019 semester. My last semester in Georgia State, excited. That was also the day I got furniture for my apartment. And so yeah, just getting everything set for my apartment and starting off the semester. So my schedule for that semester was Monday, I had a class that started, I think 7 o'clock. Yeah. Tuesdays, I was free up until March 5th. Yes, I was free up until March 5th. Wednesdays, I had an afternoon class, which was from like 4:30 to 6:30-ish. Yeah, so that was my schedule for the spring semester. Being that was my schedule and I was going to have so many weeks off for Tuesday, I took it upon myself to use Tuesdays to apply to jobs. If I can spend 5 to 8 hours on Tuesdays applying to jobs, then by April I should secure a job, So that was my plan and I stuck to it. Even though it's a new year, the semester just started, I'm out of academic probation. I'm in my new apartment. Physically, things seem to be good, right? But internally, I don't feel good. There's just this, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. I just wasn't feeling at ease spiritually and internally. I just wasn't feeling at ease. I just feel like something was missing, I also felt like my devotion time with the Lord felt like a routine. My spirit was just rattled at that time. And I felt like the whole Crystal, Melissa, the person that tried to bully me, I feel like those situations played a part of my spirit not being at rest. But it was just weird. Spiritually, it was weird for me at that time. I couldn't explain it back then, but now later on, I understand what was going on. But yeah, that time I was like, I don't know, this weird internal feeling is going on and I don't understand. But physically, everything seems good. Now, I'm not used to that. I'm used to something always happening, whether if I'm on academic probation, whether I can't get a job. There's always something happen to me physically. But physically, everything seems to be good. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about this because I'm not used to this. But I'm going to just roll with it. I'm going to roll with it. So that was what was going on with me. January 20th, I wake up in the middle of the night. I am coughing. It felt like my throat was on fire. It felt like something was squeezing my esophagus. Like I just was not feeling good. So I stood up and I remember feeling like I wanted to throw up. So I go into the bathroom. I'm at the sink and I'm just basically spitting, nothing's coming out. But I'm like, I don't like my lining does not feel good and I feel like my throat is on fire. What is going on? So I drank a lot of water and probably like an hour or two I went back to sleep, but it was just so weird. I'm like, what's going on? Now, at this time, even though I was out of academic probation and my GPA was in good standing, I was writing letters to the school if they could change my micrograde. Now, the policy for Georgia State is if you would take a class at a graduate level, they would take the average of those 2 grades, and that will be your final grade for that class. When I first took micro, I got a C-. The second time I took it, I got a B+. So I was writing letters to the school if they can use that B+ as my final grade. I wrote letters to different people. They said no. So I wrote a letter to the president and they said no. And that was bothering me. It really bothered me. Now, I should be grateful that I'm in good standing, but I was like, no, because if they use that B+ as my final grade, I would have a higher GPA and I have chances of graduating with a 3.5, So they were just telling me no. And it was bothering me. It bothered me. It affected me inside. As the semester is going, I'm still asking God, is Brandon my husband? I know. God spoke to me about Brandon. God gave me dreams about Brandon. And I was still asking God for signs. Because, y'all, it didn't make sense. It just wasn't make sense. Now, inside, I felt like God revealed him to me. Like, I saw him as my husband. But it don't make sense up here, So I was asking God, you got to confirm it. And not only that, y'all, I was tingling inside. So because of the tingles, I was like, God, you have to confirm because I'm tingling. And it got to a point where I started crying. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm sinning against God. If I'm tingling like this man cannot be my husband. I was like, this man cannot be my husband if I'm tingling like this. So I was like, God, you need to confirm it. I don't like that I'm tingling. I don't like that I'm not 100% sure if he's my husband. I don't like being confused. You need to give me clarity about Brandon. Now, at this point, it's about a month of me staying in Douglas. And y'all, I am just getting sleep paralysis. I do not understand why. After I got back from Jersey and, staying in Douglas, I was just getting sleep paralysis back to back. And I couldn't understand why. That has never happened to me before. So what I did was, I heard, I don't know if it's true. I heard that if you put salt around your bed, it would chase away the spirits. So that's exactly what I did. And when I did it, I did not have sleep paralysis anymore. Now, looking back, that was very wrong of me to do because that was not, to be honest, that's not biblical. And that's really not of God. So, but at the time, I didn't know. So I did it. But yeah, it was just weird. I was just getting sleep paralysis. Couldn't understand why. I just couldn't understand why. January 31st, the last day of January. Now, like I said, I felt like my devotion time with the Lord was a routine. I just didn't feel the fire. Also, internally, I was weird internally. I don't know what was going on with me inside. But January 31st, I go to my kitchen island to have devotion, and I am reading the book of Hebrews. And as some of you may know, Hebrews 11 is the hall of faith, So I am reading Hebrews 11. As I'm reading it, reading about the people who had faith, Abraham, Rahab, everybody that had faith. As I was reading, this is what I received. This is the word I received was, God works in the unusual. That's the word I received. So when I received that word and I finished reading Hebrews 11, I was like, wait, Brandon is really my husband. And then this is what God tells me. This is what he says. He says, that's why I said you should pray for him. Lord, when did you tell me to pray for Brandon? I don't recall you telling me to pray for him. And also, why am I praying for him? Now, not to say that I can't pray for him, but what exactly am I praying about? I don't understand. Because according to Brandon's Instagram, his life looks fine. The only thing that was weird to me was a Christmas Day situation. But other than that, he seems to be doing well, So when God is saying that that's why I say you should pray for him, what am I praying about? I don't get it. But I'm going to be obedient. God, you want me to pray for Brandon? And also, I thought something was going on with him back in December of 2018. So you know what, Lord? I am going to be obedient and pray for Brandon, even though I don't know what to pray about. I'm going to just pray what I think I should pray, okay? So I was like, okay, I feel like this is God's way of confirming to me that Brandon is my husband. So y'all, that was how January ended. Next episode, I am going to talk about the month of February and everything that happened in it. So if you like this video, click the like button. If you want to subscribe, which I would suggest that you do, subscribe. If you want to follow me on social media, follow me. I'm going to put my addies on the screen. And until next time,